Snow fell softly outside, turning the city into something quiet, almost magical. Inside a brightly lit hallway decorated with Christmas garlands and golden lights, everything looked perfect. But not everything felt that way. In the middle of that elegant space, a powerful woman who controlled million-dollar decisions could barely stand straight, and the one person helping her wasn't a colleague, a friend, or even someone she respected. It was the man she barely noticed. A single dad. A security guard. And tonight, everything between them was about to change in a way neither of them expected. Before we begin, take a second to support the channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. You're watching Echoes of Stories, where every story carries a message worth remembering. Sheila Carter was known across the company as the ICE CEO. Sharp, confident, and untouchable. She didn't smile much, didn't attend small talk, and definitely didn't rely on anyone. Especially not someone like Daniel Ruiz, the quiet security guard who worked the late shifts. Daniel wasn't invisible, but he was easy to overlook. He wore simple clothes, spoke politely, and always kept his distance. Most people didn't know he rushed home every morning to wake his 6-year-old daughter, pack her lunch, and walk her to school before collapsing into a few hours of sleep. On Christmas Eve, the company hosted a grand party in their downtown building. Music, laughter, expensive wine, it was everything Sheila normally avoided. But this year, she showed up. Maybe out of obligation. Maybe out of loneliness she didn't want to admit. At first, everything seemed normal. She greeted investors, nodded at employees, and held a glass of wine like it was part of her image. But one glass turned into 2. Then 3. And before long, the woman who never lost control, did. Daniel noticed it before anyone else did. He was standing near the hallway, quietly observing as always, when he saw her stumble slightly. No one else moved. People just whispered. Watched. Judged. But Daniel stepped forward. "Ma'am, are you okay?" he asked gently. Sheila looked at him, her expression sharp even through the haze. "I'm perfectly fine," she snapped, though her voice wavered. She tried to walk past him but nearly lost her balance. Daniel didn't hesitate. He steadied her, careful, respectful. "I think you should head home," he said calmly. She laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. "And how exactly do you suggest I do that? Fly?" There was a pause. Then she looked straight at him, a strange challenge in her eyes. "Fine," she said. "You. Walk me home." It sounded like an order, not a request. Daniel hesitated. Not because he didn't want to help, but because he knew crossing that line could cost him his job. Still, he looked at her again. Beneath the arrogance, he saw something else. Exhaustion. Loneliness. "All right," he said quietly. The walk was slow. Snow crunched beneath their feet as the city lights reflected off the icy streets. Sheila leaned on him more than she realized. At first, she kept talking, about work, about people who disappointed her, about how everyone wanted something from her. Daniel mostly listened. "You think you know me?" she suddenly asked, stopping in the middle of the sidewalk. "No," he said honestly. "Good," she replied. "Because no one does." They kept walking. Halfway there, Sheila stumbled again. This time harder. Daniel caught her, but she didn't pull away. Instead, she looked at him, really looked at him for the first time. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. He shrugged slightly. "Because you need help." She frowned. "That's it? No hidden motive? No favor later?" "No," Daniel said. "Just, because it's the right thing to do." Something in that answer hit her differently. When they reached her building, she fumbled with her keys but dropped them. Daniel picked them up and opened the door for her. The lobby was quiet, warm, empty. She leaned against the wall, suddenly still. "You should go," she said, but her voice didn't carry its usual authority. Daniel looked at her for a moment. Something felt off. "You shouldn't be alone right now," he said carefully. She straightened slightly. "I'm always alone." The words hung in the air longer than she expected. Daniel didn't leave. Instead, he guided her to a chair in the lobby. "Just sit for a minute," he said. Minutes passed. Silence settled between them. Then, quietly, Sheila spoke again. "I used to love Christmas," she said. "Before everything became this." Daniel didn't ask what this meant. "My parents used to make it special," she continued. "Now it's just another day to prove I'm strong enough." Daniel sat across from her. "You don't always have to prove that," he said. She looked at him, almost confused. "No one's ever told me that," she admitted. For the first time that night, she didn't look like a CEO. She looked like someone tired of carrying everything alone. After a while, Daniel checked the time. "I should get back," he said. She nodded slowly. "Yeah, of course." He stood up, but before he could leave, she spoke again. "Wait." He turned. "Stay," she said, softer now. "Just for a little while." It wasn't a command anymore. It was a request. So he stayed. They talked. Not about business. Not about status. Just about life. Daniel told her about his daughter, how she insisted on decorating their tiny apartment with paper snowflakes. Sheila listened, genuinely interested. When he finally left, the night felt different. The next morning, Daniel returned to work expecting nothing. Maybe even trouble. Instead, he was called to Sheila's office. He walked in, unsure. Sheila stood by the window, sober, composed, but different. "I owe you an apology," she said. Daniel blinked. "You don't." "I do," she interrupted. "And, thank you." There was a pause. "I've been blind," she continued. "To people. To kindness." Daniel didn't know what to say. "You reminded me of something I forgot," she added. "That strength isn't about doing everything alone." From that day forward, things slowly changed. Sheila wasn't suddenly warm or perfect, but she started noticing people. Listening. Smiling, even if just a little. And Daniel? He stayed the same. Because sometimes, the strongest thing you can do, is simply be kind. That Christmas night didn't just help a woman get home safely. It helped her find her way back to something she thought she had lost forever. And maybe that's what kindness really does. It doesn't just change moments. It changes people. So wherever you are, whatever you're going through, remember this: one small act of kindness can reach further than you ever imagine. And sometimes, the person who needs it most, is the one you least expect.